1581, 877-247-1581, 877-247-1581. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Serving Johnson County, Texas. Joco Community Radio.
Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home. Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home. Lord, I didn't power through the struggle just to let a little trouble knock me out of my position and interrupt the vision. After everything I witnessed, after all of these decisions, all these miles, feet, inches, they can't add up to the distance that I have been through.
All right, everybody. Hello, hello. This is Real Estate Reality with Diana Roberts. And I have a special guest who's calling in right now. I'm going to go ahead and let him in. Hello, Sal.
Hey, how are you doing, Diane?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry about that.
I'm
I
doing
guess the link did not get sent over, but that's okay. We'll just have you on the phone with me today. All
That's
right.
wonderful.
Yes.
However I can help you.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm excited to have you on Real Estate Reality today. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us who you work for and what you do?
Okay, my name is Saul Financial. I'm an independent agent for United Wealth Education. We are a financial literacy company serving all of the United States. We have agents across the country and we need more help. So this is a little plug for agents who want to be out there that want to join our team.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect.
What we do is we help people get their finances correct and updated.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so and that's this is why I wanted to have you on the show, because I feel like this is really important for those to understand and know exactly what is going on, right, with your finances and how to get. So, of course, I do real estate. I'm a realtor, and it's important for me to be able to share with my clients, my potential clients on, or even those that are looking but not ready to move on that because of they're not ready financially wise. So I really wanted to have you on the show so that we could go over and cover some of the key things that maybe we could give them right now, to help them understand. And then we'll definitely plug in your contact information after the show so that we can let them know how to get in touch with you to actually, use your services.
Oh, well, truly appreciate that. But we're here to help everybody. Everybody has a different understanding of what a credit score really is. But when you break it down, it really just breaks down to 5 components. And believe it or not, it has nothing to do with your income. Did you know that?
No, I did not. All right. Like, fill us in on that.
Okay. Well, there's 5 components to the credit score. The first big component is payment history. The next big component is the amount of credit you use. The next big component is the history or the length of a person's credit profile.
Right.
The next part is new credit inquiries. And then the last component is types of credit used. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So depending on the individual, and I like to throw out some stats, currently in the United States, there's a lot of people who have a lot of debt. In 2021, it was reported that there's $14.6 trillion in household debt. Is that believable or not?
Oh, that's kind of unbelievable. I mean, I guess it is believable.
Mm-hmm.
And
that goes right into one of these components here, is the amount of debt used, which is a 30% of your calculation of your actual credit score.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, so can you give us a little bit more insight on like, so when it comes to, we're to have credit cards or we're supposed to have some kind of open line of credit or multiple open line of credits to even have a credit score and to even have, what would be considered a good credit score,
Okay,
right?
we can talk about that.
Yeah.
The first part is we're going to talk about the credit. The first thing you want to do is, in all actuality, make sure that you're not using your credit cards beyond the nominal number is 9% of whatever the credit card limit is. But I'm going to go with 10 because that makes it easier on the math. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Absolutely.
Okay.
So no
So
more
to
than
be
10%
so
on a
be at,
credit card.
so to be at the highest point on a credit card utilization, if you have to make the math easy, $1,000 credit limit, you don't want to have it report to the credit agencies more than 10%, which would be $100 when it reports to the credit agencies. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So that's one of the big things because a lot of times, and as a realtor, you know this,
Yeah.
people have issues with debt to income
Mm-hmm.
when they're trying to qualify for a mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the biggest thing right there is the debt to income. So, what is some advice that you would give somebody that, has that going on right now? Like, I mean, in student loans, I know. So, okay, me being a realtor, I know student loans has definitely been one of the biggest impacts in a buyer situation in from what I've seen so far in my career.
Oh, yes. And I have a stat for student incomes, it's jumped 150% in the last decade. And that just goes back to tuition and increasing at the universities, at the colleges. The best bet would be to start paying those student loans off early while they're still being deferred so that you can reduce the amount of debt you have when they come out of deferment. And most students understand that while they're in school, the interest rates are being deferred. So you're not getting paid or penalized on the interest rates during that time period. But once you finish your schooling, the interest rate starts to come in. And with the
Mhm.
interest rate hikes that are going on across with the Fed, those interest rates are ridiculous right now.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
what I've
one way
heard.
to actually pay as you go, should I say,
Yeah,
on
pay
your
as you
student
go.
loans.
Right, absolutely. And there's so many that I know that have like had multiple jobs and still being, still going to school just to pay that. Um, and then I don't know, maybe there's a lack of wanting to pay it at some point, maybe that I've come to find in some uh, potential buyers, and then that's when that interest does accumulate because they were already done with school, and there was some point in time when they just weren't either able to pay it or they were like, oh, I'll just pay it when I get done with school. So I have that job, that career, and then I can pay it off faster. Would you say that
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 is
would be a
that is one of the key things. And there are organizations like ourselves. We just opened up student loan repayment programs where we try to reduce the interest rates. That's a different product that we have on our services that we help people who have high interest rates with their student loans to consolidate them and bring them down.
oh, well, that is
So we,
incredible.
but yeah, that is key, but they have to qualify for those lower rates. Anything we can do to help individuals save their hard-earned money by reducing the interest they pay by getting them a higher credit score is what we want to try to do for people.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That is awesome. I like to hear that, and especially what you can do for somebody again, like, that's having the interest rate struggle with their schooling and um with their we just said the word and I can't think of it now. It's been one of those mornings. Uh but yeah, so okay, give us some more information on some other key advice I feel that you would want to share with somebody that's looking to get back to either a good credit score or get out of some of the debt that they've accumulated that's hurting them in order to make big purchases such as real estate.
Okay. Well, the first thing I would give everybody as a piece of advice is start working on it now. So find out what your credit score is. Uh, there's over 50% of Americans that don't even know what their credit score is at a given point, unless they're going into purchasing a large item, and large item being something that they actually need to buy on installment, such as a home, such
Right.
as a vehicle. You know, those big items that you don't have that kind of money to just buy the item outright, and you're going to have to get a loan. And that's when people start to look at what their credit score is, and it's too late.
Right. So
The-
know ahead of time is key, I think.
Yes, you have to definitely plan. So if you want to plan to buy a home in the next 6 months to a year, the time to start looking at your credit score is now. Because by law, when we start looking at a credit score and start doing dispute letters, if they need to be done, the actual credit agencies have their time frame that they have to do their investigation and give you those results back. So we have to use that time frame to properly plan and not just take anything negative off the credit reports, but to actually help people build things on their credit report that can help them get more points in other areas of the credit calculation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay. And so, and I know, so when it comes to the credit score, I know that's somewhat what they're looking at is, what how your bills are being paid and things of that nature too. What would you say was somebody that maybe is spending more than what they're earning? And that's what could be causing that.
Well, the fundamental problem with a lot of individuals that I come across is a challenge of having a budget.
Yeah.
Okay. And I equate a budget to something similar to jumping in your car and going somewhere. Let's say you want to jump in your car today and you want to go to the store. Well, you're going to drive and turn and turn and turn and get there. But before you do that, you have to know where you're going. So if you have a budget, you can actually know where your money is going. You're driving the money and telling it where you want it to go. Does that make sense?
And I like that. I like that. That is a really brilliant way of putting that and making it. I like that. I like that a lot. Actually, I can't get my words together this morning. Mercy. No, I
No
think
worries.
that's really incredible because I think we need to think like that. We need to think more like that. I think sometimes, I mean, I, today in society, I feel like we're just moving so fast all the time. We don't really take the time to really think or even, you know, put something together or sit down and take the time, like you said, to even put a budget together, to even think about how much we are spending. Cause I know so many people, including myself, I'll go to the grocery store and of course the economy right now is just ridiculous, like, right, everything's so escalated, and so I'll go to the grocery store and I won't have a plan or a list of what I need, and I will overspend and I'll get things that I didn't necessarily have to have right now and that may not have really worked in my budget. So I like the way you said that because
Uh,
that puts it in a different perspective, right? It puts it in a perspective of understanding, hey, you might want to plan, like Sal said, plan where you're going and what you're going to be doing before you get there. So you're going to actually, have the additional finances that you will need before the end of the month is over or you get paid again. And, for me, it's commission.
Diane, you got me really good because one of the things that we've done post COVID is in our household
Yeah.
is that we started using a lot of the wonderful things that we can do, like curbside service.
Yes.
Okay. So on typically Saturday, we'll go through and we'll make our list in the app and say what we want to get and what we need. Again, back to need and some wants.
Right.
Needs is first, wants is second. And then we go Sunday and we pick it up at the curbside. And what I have found from my own personal, because there was a couple of weeks that we didn't do that in time and whatnot. And I said, well, we'll just go to the grocery store and we'll get what we need. And impulse buys
Uh huh.
and wants kicked in. And my wife looked at me and said, we're ordering next week online. Just to control my bad habit of spending a little bit too much.
Yes, right? I completely understand. I completely understand. But so have you ever have you heard of Dave Ramsey?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Dave Ramsey, I got his books in my living room on my bookshelf. Enjoy
Nice.
his studies.
Right? He's got
Um,
some really good materials. So do you feel like you guys use that within, the company that you work for?
I use a lot of different things myself as an independent agent. The company also uses a lot of those type of things. One of the things that he doesn't like to use is credit.
Yeah,
But the problem with that issue is that a credit card actually touches every point and every factor of the credit score.
absolutely.
So when you're not using the right tool, you're not going to get the most value and the most efficiency out of your credit score. And I say that because I broke it down a little bit ago. Payment history is 35% of your score. 30% is credit utilization. 15% is length of credit. 10% is new credit inquiries, new credit. And the last one is types of credit, which involve installment loans and revolving loans. Okay.
Right.
If you have a new credit inquiry, that's 10%. So you applied for a new credit card. That's a good thing if you get approved for it. Go backwards to 15%, length of credit. That's the history. Your credit cards show a history of payment for the last 2 years plus. And the longer your history is, the better your percentages in that area. Credit utilization is looking at how much credit do you have and how much are you using. Okay.
Right.
So payment history, are you paying the credit cards off in time? So Dave Ramsey has a plethora of wonderful items, and I will never talk negative about anything that he puts out, but I will say that the credit scoring system uses credit cards to help evaluate how a person uses their credit. So it's one of those give or take kind of things where it's not totally perfect, but it needs just a little tweaking to add in that credit card utilization that needs to be done to help improve credit card uh, credit scores in your credit score algorithms, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Absolutely. And that's what I try to express to my kids too, is like for them to, you know, in the youth, the younger generation, I don't necessarily know if they really understand. So okay, let me go back. When I was working in the car business, I'd have younger, you know, youth that are just graduated or whatnot, and they were wanting to purchase a car. Well, they didn't realize that they didn't have any credit. And so no credit was not going to help them get there to be able to be approved for even a car loan. So for them to understand, that having a line of credit like as young as youth, you're for your parents to open you up a line of credit or
Mhm.
like with a credit card or whatnot is very essential for them once they do graduate in order to purchase a car and to start establishing a line of credit. That way they can purchase a house at some point, right?
That is so true. And each credit card company has what they have call an authorized user. And my kids are authorized users. I'm in the mid 50s. My kids are in their mid 30s to early 20s. And I still have them as an authorized user on my credit cards to help just give them that extra little inch up on their credit scores.
Right. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, definitely if it's available and somebody has a credit card that they can be an authorized user and that is in good standing. Because what
Yeah.
we don't want to do is put our child on a credit card that is not in good standing, it's going to hurt their credit.
Right, absolutely.
So what we want to do is put them on a credit card that is in good standing, and that's going to help increase their credit score. That would be phenomenal for parents to do.
Right.
And some credit cards go down as low as 13 years old
Oh,
to
that's
add to a authorized user. Now, if you got 13-year-old, by the time he finishes high school, he's 18, 2 more years, 20, 21, getting out of school. He's already got 7 years of history. Now, remember, one of the factors is length of credit. So he's got 7 years ahead of somebody coming out of school that doesn't have that
eh,
advantage.
absolutely. Absolutely. Which I think is essential. And I think, parents need to understand that and know that. And I also feel that, the youth needs to understand that too. So I think that's essential for us to be able to have them already getting that established, like you said, like 7 years. That's perfect. That's really going to benefit them when they are wanting to go and purchase a house because, and it's not about the credit cards though either. It's about um, the bills too, bills in your name. They look at that too and payment history.
That is so true. And what better way to help our youth learn how to be financially stable? Because every youth has a cell phone,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
So if we make them an authorized user, right, on a credit card, and give them a nice phone plan that they can sign up for, and put that on their authorized user card to use, every month it gets paid. They pay it off. The bill comes in, they see that it's X amount of dollars, whatever it may be, depending on the provider and the plan they have, and they pay it off. And now they're starting to see, I have something that I'm using as a service and I'm paying for it. You're starting to get them in the mindset of, yes, I'm using the service. It's being billed to a credit card and I'm paying the credit card off and I'm paying the credit card off. And that's only going to teach a good habit in the future.
yes. I 100%
Okay.
agree on that. Yes.
So, and it teaches them, and that's one of the things we have is Youth Financial League, that leadership program that we do. And with that, we actually help and go into the middle schools, elementary schools to help youth learn about finances. That's one of the pillars of our organization is to give back to the community.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Okay, so tell me some more insight that you wanted to share with us too today in regards to, finances, in regards to, really establishing a healthy and more good habits when it comes to that in order to make these bigger purchases.
Well, I want to touch on something you mentioned a little while ago, and it was low credit, because we have a lot of people who have low credit. And what that means is, like you stated earlier, they come in and they want to make that big purchase, but they've never really established any kind of credit before. But now they want to buy that 40 to $60,000 car.
Mhm.
And with no credit, low credit, they're going to get a really high interest rate.
Yes.
And currently the interest rates are crazy. 7% for car loans, unless you get something from and somebody who has low to no credit is not going to qualify for a very low interest rate.
Yeah, not
So
at all.
just that alone is going to cause them on the far side, after they pay back that loan, to pay in excess of anywhere between $4,000 to $8,000 extra because their credit score is low and they only qualify for a high interest rate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, I
So,
mean, it's more like wouldn't you say it would be like more like 10 to 15,000 just down on the car in order to even have it to where probably it could be affordable to somebody that, might be a server right now at a
oh,
restaurant
oh,
or,
yes, yes.
you know, somebody that's a little bit, in their young 20s, just coming out of high school and starting to go to school and career
Mhm.
base, they're searching for what their career is going to be. Uh, I mean, it would be I would have to seriously be anywhere from 10 to 15,000 down just to purchase a
Oh,
car.
yeah, definitely. Just to purchase a car is down. And what I was talking about was the interest rate they pay on the far side. So let's say somebody has a really good interest rate.
Yeah.
because they have a high credit score. And let's go with about a $25,000 car. That's, a Kia or something of that nature, a starter car.
Right.
So they got a really good credit score. At that price point, they're going to pay anywhere about $3,500 in interest rate, give or take, for the length of the loan. But if they have a bad credit score or a fair credit score, they may pay up to $7,500 in interest. So the total difference will be about $3,900, give or take.
Wow.
And that is extra money that hardworking person is paying because they didn't plan to fix their credit, or they didn't plan to improve their credit prior to making that purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about you, but I could do something a lot better than give away $3,900.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think that, and I think that I don't think that a lot of us like grasp that, like if you really don't know, you just know, okay, so for instance, you just know you have to have a car, right? And you just go out and you get a car, or you have to have a home, a place to live. Uh, they're not grasping how much of that interest that's actually accumulating, or how much that they're actually having to pay out in a period of time. I don't think that they really register that. Do you feel that way as well?
Definitely. Oh, it is when people go into a car dealership, they want the payment to be at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So at that point, let's say it's a $500 car payment, $400 car payment. So what's going to happen is the dealership is going to go and look for financial options for them, which is going to say, okay, with this bank at 60 months, it's 400 and whatever. With this bank at 72 months, it's 300 and something, because the length has gotten longer.
Yeah.
They're worried about how much they're going to pay, but they don't look in the fine print to see how much interest over the length of the loan they're going to pay.
Right.
Because they need that vehicle now.
Absolutely. Hey, Sal, we're going to have to go to a quick break really quick.
Oh, no worries.
We will be right back. So everybody that's listening, please stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more very good information on your finances and how to get yourself in a home.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Serving Johnson County, Texas. Joco Community Radio.
Home, a place where I I can go to take this off my shoulders? Someone take me home. Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home. Lord, I didn't power through the struggle just to let a little trouble knock me out of my position and interrupt the vision. After everything I witnessed, after all of these decisions, all these miles, feet, inches, they can't add up to the.
All right. Thank you guys. And welcome back to our second half of Real Estate Reality. Emergencies can happen. And when it comes to your roof, time is of the essence. Whether it's a leak, a storm, or an insurance claim, the High and Tight Roofing team provides top notch roofing services that guarantee your peace of mind. They understand how important your home is to you, which is why they always go the extra mile to ensure your roofing needs are met with precision and care. Give them a call at 682 444 1399. Again, that's 682 444 1399. Let's do it right. Choose High and Tight for all your roofing needs. Are you in the process of buying or selling a home? Be sure you have all the information you need with a professional home inspection from ZView Inspections. Their team of licensed and certified inspectors provide comprehensive and thorough inspections that leave no stone unturned. We understand that buying or selling a home can be a stressful process, which is why we make it our mission to provide you with the peace of mind you deserve. Don't take any chances when it comes to your home. Trust the experts at ZView Inspections to provide you with information you need to make an informed decision. Inspect before you invest with ZView Inspections. Contact us today at 682-587-9651 to schedule your inspection. Again, that's 682-587-9651. Evenings and short notice are available. All right, we are back, and I've got Sal still with us, who is a financial advisor. And I think this is so awesome to have you on here because I think that that we're coming back into a school year again, a new school year. We've got juniors and seniors that are going to be, you know, going going to be leaving school and actually out on their own soon, couple of years, right? So I know you wanted me to bring that up because that's going to be essential for what some of what you guys do there too, right?
That is correct. That's a great segue. I appreciate that. One of the things we do is we like to give back to the community. The company has partnered with this wonderful youth financial literacy nonprofit that gives back to our rising seniors and our college freshmen. And we actually have a scholarship program for them.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
they go online, they fill out the information for the essay and the information that we have for them. And then they actually get through the program and qualify, or they do the whole competition thing, and they award these individuals, uh, depending on how they come out on the competition, different amounts for their upcoming college year. So it's a wonderful program. Like I said earlier, offline, that we've given away almost $6 million over the last 10 years in scholarships to rising seniors and current freshmen that are in college.
Oh, wow, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, we
So
can
that
provide more information, but that will open up toward the end of this year. And at the end of the year, they'll start doing the competition and finding out who the awardees are going to be.
wow, that is incredible. I love that. I love that your company does that. And I know you're independent, so if anybody does want to find out any more information, you can reach Sal, and I will definitely make sure to leave that in the comments after the show. And that way you guys have all of his information on how to get in touch with him if you want to work with him either with your finances, with working on your credit score, or like he said, with this wonderful program that they have for freshmen, seniors in college.
And to add to that, to apply for that, you do not have to be a customer with any one of us. It's an independent nonprofit organization that we've partnered with.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I still feel like they should get in touch with you because, like, it is about the end. It's about to come up to the new school year. this is when, this would be the best time to be looking for a new home if you're looking to move to a new area, especially right before school starts. And I know that's starting pretty soon. So, or if you're looking to wanting to do that next year, I do feel it, typically. So I know you said 6 months to a year, and I just want to kind of touch on that. That's how long it usually takes, right, in order to get somebody in a financial status of where they're able to purchase a home or even a bigger ticket item.
Well, as you know, everybody's a very unique individual. I like to use the word unique because we are unique.
That's right.
We all have different ways that we have been brought up. We have been groomed through our lives. And because of that, some people are better with their finances and other people are not as good with their finances. So we've had a great turnaround in less than 60 days because a person needed some tweaking.
Yeah.
And then we've had other people who've been in the program a little longer. I'm not going to say more than a year, but well, we do have other services other than just credit restoration. That's our flagship product. But we do help people because we have a budgeting program. We do help because we have a program that helps people see where they're at in debt and how to reduce their debt. We call it the Debt Zero Plan. So there's different services that we provide. So depending on the individual, will depend on how long it takes them because every situation is unique.
Absolutely.
So,
and I'm glad that you said that because that is exactly true. We all are in a different situation when it comes to our finances, and it just depends on, once they get with you on how quickly or how long that process might be. But regardless, it's going to get done.
that is true.
Yes. So tell me a little bit more about what were we talking about before we left the show, or before
We're
we went
talking
to
about interest rates.
Yes.
And how we can help save that, because if you go back to your credit score, you have different categories in your credit score. You either have a really excellent credit score, which is going to be your 760s and above.
Right.
Your good credit score, which is going to be your 700 to 759, I'm sorry. And then your average score is below that. And then your poor score, which is below the 600 range. So when a financial institution looks at an individual's credit profile, that's how they're going to gauge what the interest rate's going to be at.
Right.
And I want to just add to this, because this is our adult report of how we behave financially. And I hate to say it this way, it's either A or D. The old school way of doing things, you either got an A, B, C, or D.
Right.
But this has bled into other areas, and it's unbelievable how much the credit score has bled into other areas. So not just financially, but it has also bled into your insurance rates. It also has a bleed into your employability rate.
Wow.
So sometimes, and
I
I
did
know
not know
this
that.
firsthand because I try to help my daughter, and she wanted to get this job. And I didn't know at the time because this was something where it was starting to bleed into the employability of individuals. And we were like, why didn't she get the job? And she came back that her credit score was not high enough, even though she had a good credit score. It wasn't excellent. It wasn't high enough to get the job.
What?
Yes.
Wow. I don't
So
understand how that
we
would
talk
be.
about credit score being financially fit score, but it's actually becoming a lifestyle fit score.
Mercy. Like, how is that even? I don't understand that. I did not know that.
A lot
Wow.
of people don't know that. And it's starting to bleed into other sectors because those sectors are saying if that person isn't fiscally responsible, what makes them going to be responsible in this employment area? Or
Wow.
what's going to make them pay their insurance payment on time in this area?
Right.
So You can have somebody who has an excellent credit score go apply for a rental property and have a lower payment to get into that than somebody who has a poor credit score.
Yeah.
They might have to do 2 times or 2.5 times the deposit because the person who's renting is saying, I don't want to take the risk of losing money on my rental.
Which is understandable. I mean, that is understandable. And I can see the point, of the job situation, like if you're not responsible in your finances. Um, However, I just, a credit score like that is, they take points away, I feel, so quickly on so many different things. And it that I think that's a struggle. I think that's why it fluctuates so much. Would you agree?
Oh, yes, definitely. I could show you because of the credit monitoring program that we have. I can show you the graph of mine. So my graph goes up and down a lot. And that's because I buy large ticket items and I pay them with the credit card. And because my utilization rate goes above that 30% threshold that they really want, even though I pay it off early and pay it totally off, when it reports, it's showing that my utilization is high. And then the next month, when the utilization back down to that 10% that I try to maintain it at, the next month the credit score goes back up.
Wow.
So yeah.
It's so I don't know, it's a challenge. I feel like your credit score is like probably your hardest thing that you have to deal with as an adult. Because it really does. It is needed for so many different things. And like you're saying, now they're adding more to it on you having to have, a certain credit score now to even get employed. I mean, that just blows my mind, really. Uh, but yeah, and then they give you a line of credit. They give you a certain amount, and then they only expect you, like the credit bureau, only expects you to spend a certain percent of it, and then pay it off, and that's what's going to keep you in good standing. But you have like this whole other limit of it. I don't know. It's mind boggling to me on how it all works
Yeah.
and
Now
how they
I've
have
been
it set
doing
up.
this for about 14 years and I still get stunned with some of the new information coming out.
Oh wow. What?
It's I want to say you have to stay on top of it. You
Yeah.
have to stay abreast of all the changes. And it's difficult. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have their occupation and they have changes in their occupation. So they stay abreast and they maintain their subject matter expertise in that occupation.
Right.
And with this, because of the fluctuation, we try to stay on top of those changes as much as possible. So yeah, we're still waiting for 10T to come out, but when it does, we'll see how that works out. And that's just a new FICO score. And I could just go into how many actual scores do we have, and you'd be surprised how many scores you could have because of just the different types of credit scores that are out there and the different types of levels that they're at, I guess you could say.
Wow.
You want me to touch on that or is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
too
I
deep?
do actually. Yeah, you've got me. You've got my interest. That's for sure. So yes, please.
Okay, so there's 2 main ones. The first one is FICO,
Okay.
and then everybody's heard of FICO, and the
Yes.
second one is Vantage. Okay, and Vantage you'll typically see like in your Credit Karma, Sesames, and stuff like that. So we need to know when you're going to apply for credit what the creditor is going to use, and that's hard to find out unless you ask them, and unless you're educated, you really don't know. So FICO 4, and there's different levels in FICO, and I look at it like a computer software updates.
Okay.
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 So when it started out, it was at FICO, and then it went to the next level, FICO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 is coming out. 10T is supposed to be coming out soon. So depending on which one of the software packages the financial institution got will depend on which one they use.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, and the same thing with Vantage. Okay, and Vantage is just the same factors, but they use a different percentage per each factor. And typically, I don't talk about Vantage much because when you're going to buy that home or that car, it's usually a FICO score.
Right.
And that's why people will say, well, on Credit Karma, it says I got this. And when I went to go get my car, it said I had that. And now I'm going to have to pay a higher interest rate because it's a different calculation. It's a
Mm,
different amount for the payment history. It's a different amount for the credit utilization. And it's just, so you have to know what you're going to do. My biggest thing is always get pre-approved. That way you know where you're at, you know what your credit score is, and you know what you can afford,
right.
whether it's a home or whether it's a vehicle. If you go to the dealership to buy a vehicle, they're going to go through 10, 20, 30, 40 different institutions trying to get you that car. And your credit inquiries are going to go down, 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 making your credit score go down, down, down because you got a whole bunch of credit inquiries.
Yeah, absolutely. That was
Okay.
one of the things that I definitely understood when I was in the car business is like they say it's a soft check, a soft credit check. A soft credit check still dings your credit score about what, 2 to 3 points?
It's not supposed to, but it does.
Mhm.
And the way you can, the difference between it, whether it's going to be a soft or a hard pull,
Mhm.
is if they ask for the whole social security number, it's going to be a hard pull.
Okay.
If
That's
they
good to
ask for
know.
the last four, it's typically going to be an off pull.
Okay. Well, yeah, so you want just the last 4.
You want the last four.
Yes.
Sometimes having a credit inquiry is good, but when you have too many, it takes points away. So
Right.
those are erroneous credit inquiries or
Yeah.
unauthorized credit inquiries.
Yeah, because I had a when I'm going back to the car business because like this, I learned a lot more of this when I was in the car business before I went into real estate, and there was a lady that was coming in to get a car, wanting to purchase a car, but she had had so many other dealerships pull her credit within the same time frame, pretty close back to back, and I know that dinged her credit like so much. She ended up having to pay more at the end because of all of the different credit checks that she had had at all the different dealerships.
Exactly. I like to let people know that if they're going to go buy a vehicle, typically a credit union gives you best interest rates or a bank that you actually have a relationship with and get pre-qualified there. That way you know what the numbers are going to be.
Yeah.
Now, when you get to the dealership and the bank or the credit union says, I can get you a 4% interest rate for this amount of your, and they'll spell it out, of the loan, whether it's going to be 60, 72, or 84 months, depending on the new vehicle or not. And then you get to the dealership and the dealership says, well, we can get you this promo because you have great credit. It's excellent. And it's 1.9 for 72 months. And you can say, okay, bank, I appreciate you looking at my stuff, but I'm going to go with the 1.9 because I just saved 2 points.
Right. So that's very
So,
okay. So that's clever. And then that's only 2 pulls.
yeah, exactly.
So that definitely saves you. Like if that lady had done that, she probably would have been in a way better situation because she had to have car. And if you're going and getting all these and okay, so in real estate, let me go to real estate because it's real estate
Okay.
reality. But like in real estate, we tell our buyers once they get approved for the loan, you know, you need to do not go out and get any credit inquiries because you've been approved for the loan. They're ready for us to move forward. And if you go start doing these like either soft or even hard credit checks, it's going to like increase your interest rate at closing once you do find a property. And it could actually be detrimental to your purchase,
Yes.
even of a property.
Yes.
So
And I agree with you 100%. And then when we're having clients go through our process, we say the same thing to them. During this process for the next 60 to 90 days, maybe 120 days, please don't apply for credit, because we're trying to increase your score. And if you get denied and denied because we're trying to go up, and it's only going to keep your score down.
Right.
So yeah, definitely. And it's a hard one to kind of swallow, because people want to say, oh, look, it shows on the program here that I'm monitoring, because we have a monitoring program, that my credit score went up X amount of points. So I can go out there and buy a new car. Let the dust settle.
Yes. Yes.
Let
Hold on
the
to that
dust
for a
settle.
minute.
Get it right, maintain it, and then go out and get the new item that you need, whether
Yes.
it's a home, whether it's a car, whether it's a credit card, to improve your credit score through the utilization portion of it. Um, but I know we're running short on time, and I want to give out about just a few quick tips.
Yes, please.
Again,
Absolutely. Yes.
the first part is credit payment history, your payment history on your credit score.
Yes.
So I would recommend everybody look at annualreport.com or a similar site to find out what is actually on your payment history.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you can look that
There
up.
are known facts that 8 out of 10 credit reports have erroneous information on them. Credit agencies are here to report information. We as the consumers have the Fair Credit Reporting Act as consumers that protects us from things being put on our credit report that are erroneous or incorrect.
Right.
That's what we leverage to get all these things corrected and updated. So find out what's on your credit history, payment history, and let's get it corrected. Next thing is pay down your credit card debt. Find a program, and like I talked about earlier, Debt Zero is what I used, and I was so pleasantly pleased because I was totally out of debt till my wife wanted a new car. But that's a different story for a different day. And we were totally out of debt to include mortgage. So believe it or not, it helped. And we paid everything off, and then we wanted a new car. But find out where you're at with your debt and pay it down.
Got it. Okay.
Develop a plan. Pay it down. So you get to the point where you're debt-free in that aspect. Length of credit. Once you pay off that credit card, that's 3 years old, 10 years old, whatever it is, do not close it. Because if you close it, what's going to happen is that history is going to go away with it. But you want that history because that's 50% of your credit score. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. New credit inquiries, what you need to do there is just make sure that the ones that are on your credit report are the ones that actually are tied to something on your credit report. So that credit inquiry for that credit card can stay on there if you're using that credit card. But like you said, that lady at the dealership that had all those inquiries that hurt her credit score, those need to go away.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah. And then just the types of credit, you have to have the balance of both installment, which is your vehicle loans, your mortgages, anything that you continuously pay a certain amount at a personal loans every month, and your revolving, which are typically your credit cards. You need to make sure that those are maintained and you have a well balanced there.
And again, just to reiterate, you were saying 10%, spend 10% and pay that off on time every month.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you do have to go above that 10%, because a statement says it's due on this date, doesn't mean you can't make another payment earlier in the month to get it to that date, that 10% prior to it reporting to the credit agencies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, sir. Awesome. Okay. All right.
So I do hope that those tips help somebody out there listening today.
Yes, me too. What was that report again? The annual, what did you call it? What did you say? Where to go?
Annualreporting.com.
Annual reporting. Okay.
Let me,
because I'll go ahead and add those.
I got it saved on my computer.
There's the check free score.
Yeah. Yeah. Now there's other ways of doing it, but that's the free one that the government has made. It takes a little longer than some of the other programs that are available.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one that I was saying, the check free score, would that be a good one?
That would be a good one. It just takes a little longer to get the actual results when you order them.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's the funnel.io. I don't know if
Say
you've heard of
again?
that one. Funnel. It's called funnel.io. Is that a good one possibly?
It could be a good one. Everybody has their own little intricacies that they have.
Okay.
I'm trying to find this one right here.
And if you want, I can always add that later
Identity
too.
IQ. Okay, there we go. Let me see what we got. We got, of course, the free one there that I talked about. And then you have Smart Credit. You have Credit Karma, which is good for 2 out of the 3 credit reports.
Okay. Oh, we're out of time. But yeah, I'll go ahead and add this, for you guys that were listening. That way you guys have this information just to help you also. Sal, thank you so much for coming on the show with me today. I so greatly appreciate it. And I'd love to have you back so that we could just, really maybe talk more or get into some other things that might be beneficial for those that are looking at getting their finances in order as well.
All right. And that one that I mentioned was annualcreditreport.com.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, guys. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Be blessed, everybody.
Thank you.
Do you want to save money
Bye-bye.
on your next
Bye-bye.
flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right. Call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices